everybody, and welcome back to the question where you have the questions and I have the answers. And today we're going to be talking about the 12th Amendment of the United States, which was briefly mentioned in Hamilton, which makes my life so much easier. I don't know, it's easier when something has been referenced in Hamilton. Anyway, on to the topic. The 12th Amendment came up in Hamilton during the end of the show after the election of 1800, when James Madison said, "Isn't it kind of weird, that the person who comes in second gets to be vice president?" And Jefferson's, "Well, we can change that. Do you know why? Because I'm the president." And that's literally what happened. That is literally the amendment, is they changed how presidential elections were run and how they were going to work. Because before, they had the system that we have now. Whoever came in second became vice president. You didn't choose who your running mate was. You didn't make a whole big deal of it. You just were running for president, and then whoever lost came in second. And this was done primarily to deter any political parties from forming, or if they did form, make sure that it was a bipartisan Oval Office, a bipartisan executive branch. But they changed that because they realized that ties can happen, and they didn't have a lot of protocols for ties happening, and therefore it was a really big hang-up in the democratic process, because they had to figure out what's the protocol for ties happening. Do we recount? Do we revote? But if we revote, or we just do the exact same thing, what happens? And so it was a really big hang-up, and that was caused by election of 1800. People thought that it was going to be a big thing between John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, but really it was between Thomas Jefferson and Aaron Burr. And so, of course, Hamilton at the end made his endorsement and said, "Hey, just vote for Jefferson." And that is how Jefferson won and Aaron Burr became vice president. But if Hamilton hadn't said anything, it probably would have been a standstill for quite a long time unless we thought of different legislation. But different legislation was thought of, and that's the 12th Amendment, saying that whoever's running for president gets to choose their vice president running mate with them. And so if that person wins, then you have the president and the vice president from the same political party and same political standing, instead of one from one party and one from a different side. And while that helps to further polarize us into political parties, there have been instances of presidents choosing running mates who were of a different political party from them, which is how you have Abraham Lincoln and Andrew Johnson, because they were not of the same political party at all. Andrew Johnson was staunchly Democrat, while Lincoln was a Republican, but he chose to run with Andrew Johnson for his re-election because he wanted to help unite the country after the Civil War, or during the Civil War. I can never remember when his election actually was. The second one, at least. And you're probably not going to see that a lot anymore nowadays, but it's just very, very interesting. And so, yeah, that's that. I don't have any updates for my life. So I guess that's it. That's all I have to say. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I hope you learned something. Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.